The science of reading is backed by decades of research around how students learn to read. And the work here at Blair Mill has really been focused on our teachers, our staff, really learning about the process, the natural process for students to connect sounds to symbols, and how we work with our students in a very explicit way to teach them how to read.
Good. I want to see everybody sliding their finger under the word. Let's do it again. Ready?
I teach UFLI every day to my whole group, and it goes through all of the really important building blocks to get ready to read, like phonemic awareness, connecting the letters to the sounds, and I really explicitly teach all of the skills to my whole class at the same time, and it really just gets them ready to read.
So how do we make that I say the letter I in this word? Deanna? You add an E to the end. So I saw Eddie do this real quickly. He recognized that he had to add an E at the end of this word to make it line.
Our data meetings and opportunities to do deep dives into data is important because data helps teachers target instruction to specific skill deficits rather than relying on a one-size-fits-all approach.
Previously, we used to have children and we'd put them in groups and they'd pretty much stay in those groups throughout the year. With this data that we use, we're able to move the kids when they need to be moved, and it's all fluid and children are in and out of groups, and just getting extra support in a small area to strengthen their skills is really what's changed a lot.
And in the Dibbles, we have progress monitoring. So, we do our benchmarks 3 times a year. We do our core diagnostics, but then periodically every 2 weeks we do progress monitoring assessments with the students that we see for intervention. And like Tracy said, that helps us see kids who are making that growth, and then they don't need to be in our groups anymore.
You're going to go in and underline the pattern that makes that sound. And then you can go back and do the circling for the long O.
Over a year ago, we partnered with our curriculum department and the MCIU, and we had embedded professional learning throughout last year in which all of our teachers participated in targeted sessions that were focused on their understanding of how we teach children how to read.
Ready? We see them when some of that reflected light enters our eyes. Much better.
The science of reading has really helped to deepen my understanding of how readers read. There's 2 main components of reading, which is word recognition and language comprehension. In order for a child to be a fluent reader, they need to be secure in both of those.
With professional development, we've been given strategies to use different resources, different assessments to help guide us to, like I said, really zoom in to each kid's specific needs.
Ready?
Bam.
Bam. Good job. Is there a glue sound?
Yes.
What's my glue sound, Jeremy?
AM.
A-M. Good job. Is it real or silly, Meeblin?
Silly.
It is silly.
Decades of cognitive science around reading tells us that explicit and systematic instruction in phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension, which are those 5 pillars of science of reading, are critical to students learning how to read.
Looking at past years, our data has always been good, but now it's amazing with this explicit instruction from UFLI. Most of our kids are hitting benchmark at the end of the year.
With UFLI and the teachers focusing on UFLI, especially in kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade, it has shown tremendous improvement with spelling, with sentence structure, with just reading overall.
The commitment here at Blair Mill over the past year to the science of reading has really had an impact on how we teach in our classroom, on what implementation of science of reading and structured literacy looks like. We hope as we move forward and we continue to grow and learn in this area that we'll continue to see student outcomes that reflect our true commitment to learning how to teach children how to read and what that means in our everyday practice.